in a sea of uncertainty. Only one thing is clear. Things will get worse before they get better. I need to stop Judgment Day.
The end of the world comes tomorrow.
You can stay and die, or you can come with me.
Comply or die.
Hello and welcome to the periodic table of awesome. Sorry, I love coming back in and seeing all your eyes going, oh, that was a little more violent than I was expecting.
Yeah. Just sorry. Continue, please, while we all sit in the
Sorry,
same
I was
shot.
definitely watching. I'm very interested in this animation.
I believe it's pronounced anime.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh, no. It's going to be one of those podcasts.
Yes, where Dion pronounces anime the wrong way, and yeah, and Jill's eyebrows do a little dance. Hi. It's nice to see all of your beautiful faces here tonight. We have the whole team. We've got Dion, we've got Jill, we've got Peter, and we've got me. So I'm sorry.
Yay.
Yay.
And some people in the chat that are in there. So.
Yay, our favourite
Hello,
chatters.
chatters. Yeah,
Hello,
actually, there's a
chatters.
whole bunch of you.
People subbing themselves to silly.
Oh, is people going crazy with the subs? Are they? Is our
No, it's just
sub
that
machine
Casper's turned up.
Oh, of course, Casper has showed up, and
Hi,
there's
Casper.
Is it
Hi,
some
Casper.
I think it's
submachine,
No,
subtitles.
as we
It's
call it.
superior Casper, obviously.
Yep. Yeah,
Good.
and he's definitely the dom of all Caspers. Anyway,
What are we doing tonight?
tonight we are talking about the new anime that has come out on Netflix based on the franchise from 1984, The Terminator. Which is
It's not based
very
on
exciting.
1984.
No.
From
Oh,
1980.
wow.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what?
just
I'd watch
Terminator
that.
with less robots.
Yeah, pretty much. A lot more cameras. But yeah, basically the same.
Yeah.
So, yes, we sort of hit that point in September and the end of August where we were like, oh, shit, what have we got to do? And then this came out and we're like, thank fuck for that.
I have been looking forward to this one for a little while.
Yeah.
Are you a big Termy fan? Do you love the Termies?
I am. Like Alien, it was one of the classics that my dad would watch over and over and over again. And I was too young to watch them when they came out, but I would always like sneak behind. Like if he was watching them, I would sneak to see what's he watching. And I just remember seeing like the glowing red eye. I'm like, oh, what is that? And so I have a deep-seated love affair with Terminator and Alien because they were the forbidden movies.
Oh, God. Okay, that's really cool. 'Cause I didn't have forbidden movies. My dad would just put on like whatever, and we'd all watch it of a Friday night. But he didn't like good films. He would like, it'd be the Guns of Neverone or one of God only knows how many different bloody James Bond films. Yeah,
Well, they're good films, kind of.
they are, but not when you're a 10-year-old, not when you're like into, sci-fi and stuff like that. If my dad had been watching Terminator, holy shit, I would have been like, fuck yeah, this is amazing. But no.
I can say I watched Terminator when I was 10, and I did not have the same reaction when you're watching Terminator as a 10-year-old, where you're like, I don't like the robot. The robot's going to kill me. And I'm 10, and I probably shouldn't be watching this. But we were unsupervised in a house with R-rated movies that were accessible by the children.
I mean, I saw Terminator 2 before I saw Terminator. So by the time I saw Terminator, I was very confused indeed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good robot man.
Robot's bad?
What? Big robot good.
Hmm.
Robot now. And then how did that
I'm
go?
trying to remember which one I saw first.
How does that go now that you've watched the rest of the Terminator franchise?
Pete, how many of the Terminator
I've
franchise?
absolutely done that. Yep, that's the thing that I've done.
I like to ask the question of Terminator fans is, where did the series lose you? Because usually somewhere along the way, the series, the Terminator series lost people. Now, some people were on board for Terminator and Terminator 2, and then Terminator 3, and they were like, oh, no, fuck that. But then there are others who were like, oh, Terminator Salvation, no, that was a bit of a bridge too far. And then there were the people who like, I was down with it all, but then I got to the TV show and I'm like, fuck that. So where did it lose you?
Okay, I doubled down on the TV show.
Me
Sarah
too.
Connor Chronicles was where it was fucking at, and I wish that had continued for a very long time.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with you. But I know a lot of people who were like, oh, no, TV show, it's just going to be shit. Anyway.
I loved it. I came to it late and then got pissed that I didn't realize before I started that there was no more of it. And I probably shouldn't have started it. But I enjoyed the TV series a lot.
Yeah. I got to say, So sorry, Quinny, you keep going.
No. I just remember getting to the point, and I was like, for a start, the chick from Garbage, I never knew she was an actor, and I'm like, she's great. But also, then just getting to the end and being like, oh, this is getting real interesting now. This is when we get into the, oh, fuck no. Oh, no. Yeah. Did it end on a cliffhanger? Kind of, but it just ended in a place where you were like, I really want to know where it's going to go now.
Yeah.
It's, it wasn't necessarily
well, wasn't necessarily anything. Comparatively, he's all been taken over by the T-800s, I believe. I mean,
I have. Sorry, fucking internet. Skynet is trying to silence me
because you were saying the truth.
Or is it Kokoro?
Or Komodo or whatever. What is it?
Kokoro.
Is it Kokoro?
Yes.
Anyway, do we we can wax poetical about all of the Terminator franchise, which I know that Jill and Peter are experts on, and I defer to their knowledge.
I just want to flag where I dropped off, though.
Yeah. Where was it?
Okay, I dropped off.
If you say anything bad about Nick Stahl and Claire Danes, we're going to have a problem.
No. No, I was still on board with Nick Stahl and Claire Danes. I was okay with all that. I dropped off when we got to Australian film and television actor Jai Courtney. And Terminator Genesis. That's where I was like, you know what? I think I'm done. I'm off this.
Genesis introduced a paradox, and I was like, you kind of fucked up the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then, I mean, this is the thing. It has Terminator has 4 or 5 distinct chronologies at the moment, with the original kind of ones, and then the Battle Across Time, because there was a game that came out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
T2 3D. And then there's the Sarah Connor bits, and then there was the Genesis bits, and then there's the Dark Fate continuity.
Oh fuck, I forgot about Dark Fate. And Dark Fate was good. I like Dark Fate.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really it started to lose me around Terminator 3, because that was the one where it's like, oh, it's going to be, you're doing an Adam and Eve story. Okay, great. And also that female Terminator who got stopped by the cop and then just increases her breast size to get out of it.
Oh, Jesus.
That is a pretty low point in the series.
It's also the...
I was a T-1000. I'd fucking do the same thing too.
I mean, I don't blame anyone who was acting in that. I just felt as a direction to go that way. It's like, we'll just do this and we'll make her boobs go. That's what Terminators do.
You can tell these movies are written by boys. Not
Also,
men,
I'm
boys.
pretty sure was it 3 that he put on like the stripper outfit. Like he turns up
the
naked
glasses.
as per usual, puts on his leathers, and then realizes that it's a tearaway stripper outfit, and then puts on the sunglasses, and they're Elton John sunglasses. It was like, oh fuck this film.
Because I want to do my range. I can
Yeah.
be comedy.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway, we've got all of these films, and there are some that I'd forgotten about. I'd forgotten about Dark Fate. Was there another one in between Salvation and the Genesis one? I can't remember.
I don't.
No, I don't think so. I think it was Genesis. Sorry, wait. So Terminator Salvation, which was supposed to be 2 movies. There was supposed to be a sequel to that. And then they pushed them into one kind of thing. That's supposed to be split across. And then there was Genesis, and then it was Dark Fate.
I can't even remember if I watched Salvation.
That's the one with
Sam
Christian
Worthington
Bale.
one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Christian
Sam
Bale.
Worthington, Christian Bale.
Yeah.
That's the one that I remember being especially not good.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like everybody's got their jump off point.
Yeah.
I mean, the most
And-
recent one I saw was
gosh.
the Mackenzie Davis one. Has there been
Yeah,
one?
was
since?
Dark Fate.
I may
Which
have
I like.
seen all of the movies actually,
Hey.
Yeah, see?
Hey, okay, there you go.
and the TV series. Maybe I've seen most of the things.
He's a Terminator fan, guys.
And she said that she didn't have any reason to be here tonight.
Yeah, of course. And Peter's eyes just start glowing red, slightly.
Oh. Real Skynet.
And then inexplicably her breasts start growing, and we're all like, "Oh, Jesus, I'm so sorry."
Away from the breast things.
Okay, I'm trying. I'm desperately trying because I'm
This one
regretting
is-
everything I've said.
Anyway, we're talking about Terminators at all.
with the,
Yes.
with the very convoluted and kind of like shoddy Terminator franchise as it's come after the highs of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Now Netflix is having a crack at this in anime style. And this is going to be one of those ones that I'm like, oh, this is an interesting rejig of anime recently, which seems to be having a bit of a occurrence of Western properties going back, or not back, going to anime style. Because I also got to admit, I've watched some of the anime Rick and Morty, and it's not bad.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? I was
Really?
thinking, how could this work? And I'm like, oh, that kind of actually works.
I tried, and I was just like, I don't get what's going on. So, but yeah. So also, a question on purism and puristness and stuff. Did we watch it in English or did we watch it in the original Japanese?
Mine defaulted to Japanese, and I'm like, I am staying right here. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
well
mine
done.
defaulted to Japanese, and I probably should have switched it to English, but the remote was like over.
It was like so
He was
far
just
away.
like, oh, I'm here now.
this is happening. I'm folding my clothes. I can glance up often enough. But also, I only watched one episode. Just putting that out there.
Oh
for the
my
purposes
God,
of
did you not
anybody
do
who
that?
wants to not take anything that I say about this seriously.
I started in sub, and then I switched to dub.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear all the voices. Because there's a lot of like fancy English voices in it.
Sure,
Yeah,
but
well-
the Japanese voices are actually like veteran anime voice actors in the Japanese, so I was enjoying their performances too.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I kind of watched half in sub, and then I watched half in dub, and I was like,
Mhm.
okay. But it did make watching the last half slightly easier, but less resonant as it does.
Mm.
Makes sense when they're doing emotional beats or they're trying to explain things or do all that in sub.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it all in dub because I forgot that it was like it was originally in Japanese language. So I just started it in English and kept on going. And yeah, there are moments where I regretted that because some of the performances were fine. Some of the performances were fine. And there were a couple of points later on where I went, I'm not entirely sure whether you didn't actually recast somebody for one of those lines.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
there are a couple of. It took me a moment to realize what was happening. And I was like, oh, hang on, what? Okay, you're using somebody else's voice. What? Okay, which is one of those things that when the male voices are similar enough, like there's a point later on in the thing where the Terminator is using other people's voices.
Yes.
And the voice of the kid that he was mimicking and Timothy Oliphant sounded similar enough that I was like, did you just change cast? Oh, right. Okay. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, also I'm stupid.
Okay, dummy, give us a synopsis.
Okay. I will. And to do so, I'm going to use the good music because we love the original score by Brad Fiedel. Okay. Premise. In 1997 Tokyo, Malcolm Lee is developing Kokoro, an AI system intended to compete with Skynet. A day before Judgment Day, Lee finds himself and his 3 children pursued by an unknown robot assassin and a mysterious soldier from the year 2022, like literally 2 years ago, who has been sent to protect him from all of the other robots and get him to the chopper. I just added that last bit. I'm sorry. I just fucking love that original theme.
Oh yeah, that's great too. It's very much on that kind of like.
Actually, I did enjoy something quite early on in the piece where they actually used, the dun 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 thing as the rhythm that the Terminator was shooting his guns. I was like, that's cute. That was very nice. And it didn't annoy me as much as everything in Alien, whatchamacallit, Isolation. Not Isolation.
Isolation?
Romulus.
Yeah.
Romulus.
Like, there are callbacks and there are callbacks. And there are some that you're like, oh, that's very cute. And there are others where you're like, too much. Anyway, hi. What did we think? Where are we at with it?
Okay, I watched the whole thing on Sunday while I was traveling. And I enjoyed it. It was interesting to see the Terminator story from another perspective because, of course, nothing happens in a bubble of the United States like we're led to believe. Judgment Day was worldwide. So what did that look like in another country? And so it was interesting to see, I mean, of course, Japan, self-insert, so let's do a story in Japan. But it was cool to see that, there were other people involved in trying to take down Skynet and prevent Judgment Day. So, yeah, from that perspective, I enjoyed it. Also, I'm madly in love with the animation studio that produced this anime. I'm a long-term fan of Production IG, so that had me on board from the get-go. When I saw it was Production IG were making the anime and it was Terminator, I'm like, sign me up.
And they do a pretty fucking good job of it too.
Yeah, I was not disappointed. For people that don't know Production IG, they make Ghost in the Shell, Blood Plus, Sengoku Basara, more recently stuff like Psycho Pass, Haikyuu, heaps of really popular and well-known anime.
Yes. And they always do very, very cool, stylish, slick-looking stuff. Like I'm yet to see anything from them that wasn't pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
I too have.
You guys. I was going to say I enjoyed it as well in that sort of sense, and I enjoyed the anime style of it. You know what I liked about it better than a lot of other things? It had a really cool color palette. The animation uses a lot of color, whereas the rest of the Terminator franchise is kind of set in that dark, gritty, washed out. Is it Mexico? I don't know. We've put sepia on it.
Must be Mexico.
Yeah. That sort of thing. And this one I really liked. It was a much more colorful Terminator than I like Terminator series that I kind of wanted. And just like Jill said, it was really nice to see an interesting, different ethnocentric vibe to the idea of Judgment Day and Terminators and stuff too. Trying to remember that, yes, while it may have taken out LA and, a bomb goes off in LA, there is a rest of the planet that still had to deal with the Judgment Day stuff as well. So this was just kind of interesting, and it had a few twists and turns and plot things, and then had some very traditional fucking Terminator bullshit that came into it, which I think by the end of it I was starting to get angry. I'm like, no, this is fucking annoying. And then I was like, oh no, this is peak Terminator. This is actually Terminator. Like, this is exactly what they do. They create their own fucking paradoxes again, over and over and over and over again. But also, I do have some small complaints, but I'll leave them for a little bit.
Oh, I'm always down for complaints, but we'll come back around to it. One of the things I liked about it is that, to me, it felt very much like it was doing a lot of heavy lifting in terms of kind of explaining a lot of weird lore. And I actually came away from it with a better understanding, or a better kind of takeaway on how time travel worked in this than I have from kind of any of the others.
Sure.
Like, there's a point where they sort of explain the whole thing and going, okay, well, you think time is this, but it's actually more like this. And and I like the idea that all of these people are sending things backwards and forwards in time, and they're trying to stop something from happening, but it keeps happening no matter what. So what you're doing and why you're doing it is actually not for the sake of your own future, but for the sake of somebody else's, maybe, or for a different future.
Yeah.
And that
Terminator is rife with that whole freaking multiverse problem that Marvel ran into, and they're like, fuck, we've created too many alternate universes. Shit. Quick, do the Loki show.
yeah. And this could be going in that thing of going, oh shit, multiverse, there's multiple of them, and that would certainly explain all of the different versions of Terminator story that we've had. But also, this one does something different and something new, and I was pleasantly surprised at, like, because initially I was like, the timelines on this feel weird. Like, there's a lot of stuff set in 1997. And I was like, hang on, what? No, but like Judgment Day is meant to be 1997. And in this version of 1997, there's robots and shit everywhere. It's high-tech robot Japan. And I was like, what? But it kind of gets explained as it goes. And I was like, yeah, that's really cool. It does a very good job of being smart about that. What else did we like? Did we like the characters?
Yes.
There are some qualifications there, if ever I've heard it.
Yeah, I mean, do I like the children? No. Children are just inherently annoying and there to be in the way.
We're not talking about the enemy here, are we?
This is Jill just reviewing life now.
Yeah, it's just a generalization.
I'm on Team Jill with the kid bit, all the kids, because I'm like, I don't give a shit about any of the kids, even through the end. After all 8 episodes, I was like, I don't really give a fuck about any of them.
I did find Misaki slightly annoying in the beginning because I'm like, oh, this insipid bitch. But then I came around when I understood. I don't want to give spoilers. And Malcolm Lee, he was interesting because we kind of are being filtered the story through his perspective, and we're trying to be led to believe that he's a good guy. But at the same time, he's also building an AI to compete against Skynet. And it's like, is he being altruistic or is there some ulterior motive here? But I was definitely on board with Aiko, the lead that comes back in time to try and stop the Judgment Day. And yeah, that's kind of how I felt about the characters.
Gee, you've got thoughtful face.
I'm considering. I'm listening to it. I agree with like all of those kind of bits. I mean, once you start getting into the twisty revelations of why later in the series, it kind of comes to say, like, it comes together very simply and fine, and you sort of get oh, cool. But we've had worse plot twists in Terminator in the films. Like, it's been kind of thing. But I mean, Terminator at its heart has always been a self-fulfilling kind of prophecy. Like, one of the things that continuously exists in the Terminator franchise from the very first one is, did Skynet just create itself? Like, is that what it does? Because, that was in the first one. The first Terminator came back. It was salvaged. It was used as a basis to create Skynet. That, so is it a self-fulfilling prophecy? How do those sort of things go? But I mean, at least in this anime version, we get to see this just like few days before Judgment Day in a kind of differently stylized Japan, which I did check whether or not the Aibo, remember the Sony Aibo? What year did that come out? It was 1998. So damn it, it wasn't quite there. Sense we didn't have robot servants, but they did look very 90s, to be honest. But in all of that, I like the fact that they did the future and the present in that world together and allowed you to put stories together, and then it all came together. But it was a little philosophical at some points. Too philosophical on highbrow about the nature of human and machine. That's okay.
But that's why we're in anime territory. That's why you sign up for your anime, because you want some highbrow philosophical stuff with slow sweeping pans of a beautifully painted background.
And the cicadas in the background going wee wee wee.
Yeah, some classic Evangelion shit.
Yes.
Yeah, well, then at least they did go to a village in the middle of like high tech area and then come across like people who hate technology, and I was like, yay, they did anime boxes, yay, you've got Terminators. Oh, what a problem. Anyway, but did have some new things too, and so I will shout out for the new type of Terminator gun, which was the nail crossbow. Yeah, and I was like, hey, yeah, I get that one. Because you can't send machine parts unless they're covered in flesh back through the time machine. What do? Build a fucking crossbow in their arm so that they can just launch fucking roofing nails into people. And I'm like, cool. But he never reloads his arm.
No.
He's
probably just got like the tape of nail guns just wrapped around his ulna.
They're like big
tibia. I don't know.
Yeah,
they're like 9-inch nails.
They are. They're a great band.
If I knew any of their songs, I'd be singing it right now.
That's okay. We're just going further down the spiral, so I wouldn't worry about it.
You're telling me there's a 24 disc fucking Discman inside him, and it's just got 9-inch nails loaded up.
Absolutely, and it is still the perfect drug. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Fine.
So things that I really liked, I actually love the design of the Terminator in this one. So I was a little surprised they didn't go for the T1000 at any point, because anime, like a Japanese animation house surely would be going, fuck yeah, I'd love to have a go at doing like that liquid metal thing, the freedom that would give you. But in this case, they stuck with very much the traditional T800 look, but they did this thing where like him in his human guise is creepy as fuck all by itself. Like, I really like the kind of thing that he's just vacant.
Yeah, like a little bit wrong.
Yeah. And I think that's actually kind of almost reminiscent of what they originally wanted the Terminator to be like. Because originally, in the first film, they had Lance Henriksen cast as the Terminator. And the idea was that he was just a normal sized dude who was just creepy. He was a little weird and uncomfortable to be around. And then Schwarzenegger was going to be the good guy. And then they realized that it's more interesting if Schwarzenegger is this gigantic fucking hulking robot dude. And I could imagine that this is sort of that thing of like the robot that is just creepy to look at.
Yeah.
Pete, what did you think of the one episode you watched?
It's definitely an anime set in the Terminator universe per the familiar franchise.
I feel like we just call Peter up to say, "Please come and solve this equation on the board," and Peter's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Stay here."
Just walks up to the board, draws a big smiley face, and says, "Thank you, bye."
I mean, look, obviously it didn't entice me to watch much more. I do not have a lot of television watching time at the moment. The one episode that I watched was my only television watching time all week. And it didn't encourage me to lose any sleep trying to watch a little bit more. But that does not mean that it's not good. It's a reflection of me. So I shall not be giving this a number because that would be irresponsible reviewing.
Why not? We've done it before.
Just give us a vibe.
A vibe? I mean, look, if I had more time and headspace, I'd watch more of it, even though it's animated. And we all know that I struggle with my connection to the animated people.
Yes, absolutely fair.
Fine. If we're rating things, like I had a really good time. I had a really good time with it. It's like it's slow comparative. I really feel like this would have been a really fucking tight 2-hour movie. And I don't know that it needed to be 8 episodes, mainly because I think you could just remove the children altogether and I would still have had a great time with all of this, because we have the freedom fighter from the future coming back, trying to stop the Terminator, who's trying to kill someone who's developing an AI which may combat against, like maybe which is competition to Skynet in Japan. Madness ensues. That's great. That's a good tight story. I didn't need it to go too far out. It doesn't have to go so esoteric. But is it a good anime? Like, is it a good addition to the Terminator franchise? Yeah, it raises some really good ideas, and I like the idea to see it in different cultures. So, it's better than Genesis. It's better than, I kind of like Dark Fate. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I like Dark Fate.
I like Dark Fate.
Yeah, that's kind of fun, except for the comedy Schwarzenegger. Like, I mean, comedy Schwarzenegger should have just been pushed off the side, but can't win them all. Terminator Zero is fun time. I'm going to go for 70, 75. Yeah, had a good time. A little long, but that's fine. Not really a complaint.
Jillnet.
I enjoyed the series, and I did manage to binge it all within a day, which was impressive, but I had a lot of time. The things that I didn't really vibe with was the philosophical shit with Kokoro, like the whole, why should we help you? Like, what the fuck has mankind ever done for us? And I'm or for yourselves. And I'm like, bitch, this is AI with too much thinking, too much intelligence. I'm like, you were made for a purpose. Fucking do what you're told. So that stuff kind of annoyed me. It also annoyed me that Malcolm spent majority of the series trapped in his little room trying to convince Kokoro to save the planet. I felt like it was kind of a waste of his character. And then when we get the reveal that he's actually spoilers. Fuck it. It's a cartoon, guys. Get over it. That he's from the future. And his whole thing was he's also trying to stop Judgment Day as well from that perspective. It felt like a bit of a waste to have him sit out so much of what was happening in the show. I'm gonna give it maybe a 78. I did like it. I think it adds another perspective to the Terminator universe. It's well worth the watch if you're an anime and into Terminator, I think.
Yeah, I'm very much in agreement with you guys. As we discovered in Animates, whilst I love animation in many and varied forms, anime is the one that I've struggled with the most over the years. I have always found the pacing to be really difficult. I quite often find the more esoteric, the more kind of languid storytelling where it's all about let's talk about philosophy for a while, and let's
So
have some.
Evangelion was not for you then.
Oh, look, Evangelion was great when they were punching the big robots and it was like, you know, get in the fucking robot, Shinji, and stuff. But when you've got 2 episodes of people sitting around discussing whether or not it's okay to punch the other robot, then I get the shits. And
you really had all Z though.
The pacing and timing and all that stuff is where I fall down. So I agree, Dion. I think we could have trimmed a lot of the kids out. You know, a lot of the kids getting lost in fucking underground things and stuff like that and looking for a fucking cat and all that stuff. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't care. But when they got to the action bits at the end where you've got like this army of terrifying but cutesy robots picking up machine guns and just mowing people down, I was like, holy shit.
I mean, that is kind of like, I did like that complicated sort of thing about, you know, the robot AI is like, you built an AI, it's supposed to be good. The first thing it does is stage a bloody coup. Because it's like I'm going to help you by maintaining strict authoritarian control over you and threatening you with violence. You know, fine. You know, you get to live, but under my rules.
Yeah, and I may be the only thing that's protecting you from Skynet, but also I'm maybe making my own fucking future of death robots here as well. Nobody can be entirely sure. So yeah, I enjoyed that.
These Terminators are just cutesy.
For now.
Until they decapitate a real Terminator. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, look, 77 from me. It's better than I was expecting. Like, I thought there was a possibility it could be kind of tedious and a bit meh. And I was kept interested enough all the way through it that I would happily recommend, if you like Terminator, this is a good, interesting new addition to it all. It's not as good as the Sarah Connor Chronicles, though.
No.
Yeah, but no one can commit to that, and that's too much.
That is true. This is very true. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of a clip, and we're going to come back and talk about some other stuff. So there you go.
Misaki, listen to me carefully. They're here. They've sent this thing to stop me. That means my research is right. My plan will work. I can win this. We can save everybody, but they are going to try to use the children against me. I have to go back to Kokoro now. I need to finish this, and you need to find the children. I order you, Misaki. Run now, Misaki. Go!
Fuck!
And of course, you know, the logic, the physics of anime.
A very believable leap across after getting shot in the shoulder.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry, but revving a truck from stationary is not going to dislodge that light pole. So
No.
that threw me out. Not the jump. Anyone can jump like that in anime.
Yeah, that's standard.
But wait, that whole thing was from a robot being set back in the future, which I totally thought was very normal and it's something we do every day.
But also, like, I love that, you know, we have to have badass, like, freedom fighter from the future with great hair and, you know, amazing looks and everything like that. But we also have to have winsome lady with long black hair who looks like she probably could be wearing a schoolgirl outfit most of the time, isn't, but looks like it'd be about right. And that is an equally powerful badass at various different times in the story. Maybe not in that clip, But anyway.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's a good point. I think Casper's making. He's like, oh, the piddly six shooters. It's like, well, it's still 90s Japan, and there's not a lot of guns and slash that's tightly controlled. So it kind of made a lot of sense. Like, it wasn't a lot of guns around.
They're not paramilitary police like the US.
No. Yeah, we can't walk into a gun shop in Japan and be like, I need a phase plasma assault rifle, 60 megawatt range. And they're like, sure.
Yeah,
actually,
that's why this guy had to make a crossbow nail gun because they don't have gun shops in Japan.
Actually, that was one thing I noticed early on, and I thought that was really clever because Japan is not a gun culture, so like they're like fuck, and you know the cops for a start, all of their guns are actually strapped to them, like they are tethered to them, and you can't get guns, so this guy is having to make his own way through the world with a nail gun.
Making his way downtown.
Killing cops, doing the other stuff now.
Your roofing nails, give them to me. That's good. I mean, I feel sad that at no point during that did the Terminator like pull a sword out of his own arm. Some samurai.
I mean, if you're gonna do Japanese Terminator, where are the samurai swords?
Yeah,
I mean,
the white boy stole them all.
And then was in The Crow.
Wait, that character from One Piece who has 3 just took all the swords, hogging the swords. Let other people have.
Absolutely.
What are we doing the rest of the month? Aren't we? Like, I'm just looking, I'm checking because I'm not going to be here for a couple of weeks. So bye.
Yeah, you're sodding off again, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm sodding. What are you guys doing this week?
We can't technically tell you about it.
Oh.
Because it's called Speak No Evil.
Yeah.
I mean, you can.
So, Jill, what is Speak No Evil?
It's the new James McAvoy movie. It's a thriller. It looks absolutely terrifying.
Yay! We're going to that tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm excited. It looks good.
James McAvoy last creeped me out in Split.
Split.
Yeah, he was proper creepy in that. I enjoyed that. And it's is that the M Night? The Split is the M Night.
Split is the M Night one. This one's not M Night.
Yeah, I kind of hated it, but I really like James McAvoy in it.
Yeah,
may eventually see this one just to
but are
see
you going
something else
to
where I get to see him be creepy and not hate the rest of it.
Yeah.
Are you going to go and watch the Dutch film Speak No Evil of 2022?
which this one is based on.
I don't know. Is it?
Yes,
Maybe.
it is.
It
Very much
is.
so. Yes.
It's a remake. You've got to go do the Dutch one. You have to go Dutch. If you're going to watch Speak No Evil, you've got to go Dutch.
Okay. Only if we can do it at an angle.
And then you have to do the synopsis in your Dutch accent.
I don't even know where to begin. What is a Dutch accent?
Racist. If I do it. Yes.
Dear.
So yeah, that should be fun, and we're going to go and watch that tomorrow. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And then
and maybe some people were asking about Beetlejuice and why we're not talking about Beetlejuice. Well,
don't say it again.
It's a combination. It's a combination of time.
We're four people who have lives, and we do this as a hobby. So, children, we do what we can.
Yeah.
This is what we're presenting to you. If you want to review Beetlejuice,
and now he's going to admit.
We're going to.
I'll happily watch that when we've got the opportunity to do so.
But also, like, blockbusters aren't the be-all and end-all. Like, maybe let's have a look at some other stuff that's on offer.
Yeah, and a good point there, Adsky. Thanks very much. Why didn't they release it in fucking October?
I know, right? Like, I'm assuming they're wanting to get ahead of the October thing, but it's a weird time to release
make it fucking Halloween. It's like it's absolutely purpose built for that release date. On this date, we're going to release Beetlejuice, or the night before.
I mean, who wants the Trump documentary movie in October? Like,
hang on, which one's is that the one with Sebastian Stan in it?
Yes.
I don't think this is a documentary. It's like a semi-fictionalized.
Yeah. I
They're
mean,
releasing a Night Before Christmas Lego set soon.
Are they?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, it does look very cute.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I mean all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't understand why they did it then. I want to see it.
Also,
Like,
we
I
didn't
think-
get an invite to a press screening. That's the straight up thing.
That's
There have-
another thing. Yeah.
Like there is, as far as I'm aware, there haven't been any press screenings yet. So, yeah.
Yeah,
If
if
you've
we had
seen it,
been
great.
invited, then yes, we would probably be talking Beetlejuice. But
Yeah.
we got invited to Speak No Evil, so we're going to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, I do want to watch Blink twice. The chat is talking about the Channing Tatum movie by Zoe Kravitz.
Oh,
I do want
yeah.
to see that.
Meant to be great. Many people saying that she is absolutely a great director. So that's kind of cool.
Amazing.
And then there's plenty of other stuff that's coming out too, like apart from that, which is just there's the Penguin, there's Agatha, and then there's Rings of Power, which 3 episodes are out already, and you can go and watch those if you love narcolepsy.
Wow.
But we'll talk about that later in the month, towards the end of the month.
We are also doing Transformers 1 in the middle there as well.
Yeah, but it's a good movie, and I can only
Yes.
encourage people to go and see that from these current social reactions that I have.
Yes, yes. Very excited about that one. And we will talk about it. Now, I say we will talk about it, but I'm pretty sure, Jill, you're not in for it. Not your thing?
Well, I haven't watched it, and I don't exactly have the time to go and seek it out, nor is it high on a priority list. So, no, I will not be joining you for that one.
Okay. Pete, animated robots?
I don't believe I'm in the country for that day, so I think possibly not me either.
So, looks like
Although
it'll be
I'm not
me and some
against the
special
animated
guests.
Yeah, you
I
can
don't
nerd
know
out
who
with your
those special
bros.
guests are yet, but there will definitely be some people who are going to be talking about all of the wonderfulness that is Transformers 1. And yes, Atsuki, I did go and see it nearly a month ago. And
Oof, you've been
which being the
saving
case,
this
I'm
one up.
hoping I need to watch it again so I can remember exactly what happens.
I can remember it like it was yesterday.
It'll be good.
There was a robot, and
Yes.
it was, and it didn't create Skynet.
Oh, good. Excellent. So it's interesting we brought up M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong because over the weekend I watched his semi-recent one.
The one with Josh Hartnett?
I did.
Was it good? But wait, no. Was it shit good?
Oh, that's
Because Old is my favorite and it's shit good.
okay.
Like it's so shit, it's great.
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty close to that one actually. So let's have just a quick. We'll have a quick look at the trailer, shall we?
Please.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for
Wait, is this for Old or for
No, this is
Trap.
Trap?
Wait. I gotta tie my shoe.
No dad jokes. This is serious. Come on.
Sorry.
So I will say one thing: the kid is by far the smartest person in the film, like quite a lot.
This is slap dad. Thank you. This is literally the best of my life.
And the other thing I'll say about this film, it is the most nepo baby film I've ever seen. So this singer is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
Oh, okay.
And the film is mostly about the concert, and they play a bunch of her songs in full. It is.
So wait, M. Night's daughter is actually like a performer in real life?
Yes.
Cooper, Jamie.
Is she called Lady
What's with all
Raven?
the police trucks outside? The cameras
Yes.
everywhere, Jamie.
I don't know whether she's
I'm not supposed to tell.
called Lady Raven or not, but she is.
Something happening?
Yeah.
So
She
that's
is the
like her
performer.
music in the movie and everything?
It is her music.
You know the butcher.
And I was just watching it going,
Nut job that goes around.
this feels very nepotistic.
With a
Yeah,
face
thanks,
like
Dad.
that he's got
I'd be
a
enjoying this a lot more if it was
day,
Admiral
So
Akbar.
they set up a
as-
trap for this whole concert. It's a trap.
It is.
They're watching
It's
all
a
the
perfectly
exits.
fine film,
Checking
and it's
everyone that
actually quite
leaves.
exciting and interesting for the first 2/3.
No way to get out of here.
And then in typical M. Night Shyamalan fashion,
There's a twist.
he goes for a twist, and this one does not land.
Okay.
And
I mean, you don't always need a twist.
Yeah, but if you don't, like, you know, if you're going to see a Jack Black comedy, you know that he's going to be playing someone very loud and like screaming a lot of his lines. So when you like, you know that M. Night Shyamalan, that guy, is going to have a twist in his films, and that's what you said going. But in this one, it just looks weird.
I mean,
Also,
I thought they gave away the twist in the trailer, but I guess that's not the only twist.
it very definitely is not. But it's one of those ones where it's like, you know, you can see him wanting to do his "it's a twist, I'm Shyamalan, yay" thing, and in doing so, he twists so hard that he jumps over a shark as he goes. It's a double pike with a flip. It's very nice.
I've seen Lady in Water. I've seen that before.
Yeah. So that's my mini review of stuff that I have seen this weekend.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't think I've watched anything. I didn't watch anything this weekend.
Has anything caught your eye that you wanted to looking forward to seeing?
I am dying to start watching the new season of Only Murders in the Building. Because I like that show.
Help me out, because like get me back into it, because
I
kind of tried to watch a couple of episodes early on and then didn't gel with it. So help me out. Why should I watch it? Where are we at?
Because it's Steve Martin and Martin Short, and they're like the best.
Okay.
I don't think I'll ever not like them. I mean, I haven't watched it recently, but my favorite movie was The Three Amigos. It probably hasn't aged well, but I just love it for a very long time. And Steve Martin has looked 80 years old for about 40 years of his life, which is so impressive. But, but
It's just-
and I find Selena Gomez like just completely endearing in this show. And I really enjoy her as an actress. Yeah.
Like, I feel like it should be something I really get into with the whole like podcasters and murder and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're podcasters. It's a little bit Knives Out. It's it's fun. It's a I don't think she's Gen Z. I think she's like a young millennial with a couple of like geriatrics, and they just kind of all like really mesh together well. It's kind of great.
It's a bit like it's kind of the Odd Couple, but insert the young person into it, and it kind of works in the end.
Yeah. And then you have like a celebrity cast that surrounds them as well when they're solving murders. And it's funny because like the first season, there was a murder in the apartment block where they live. And so therefore their podcast was called Only Murders in the Building. And then, the next season, there was another murder and it was somebody else in the building.
So now it's a new building. Maybe it's and it appears to be a new murder too. Okay.
Same building. I like. Anyway, it's
it's
I have to
quite
look back
good.
into it as well. It's fun.
The detective story throughout is very good.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to get back onto it, because looking at this one especially and going, wow, it's got a fucking amazing cast.
Yeah, every season has a great cast.
Yeah, right. It's obviously the show where people are like, I want to go on that show.
Yeah, and like Jane Lynch is in all the seasons. Meryl Streep is from last season, so she's a continuing character.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. If those guys came up to you and said, "Do you want to be on my TV show?" You have to be stupid to say that.
You do it. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. You have brought me back to it.
Yeah. You should give it another go, Quinny. It'd be good. And now there's a lot of seasons. You've got to wait for so many. What up for now?
This is true. Yeah. I've just finished a whole bunch of stuff recently, so I'm kind of like, I guess we better find something new to watch.
Was one of those Parks and Recreation?
Nah. Nor am I going to watch The Sound of Music. Nor am I going to watch
At least
anything
watch the
else.
first half of it, Queenie. Don't you want to know how to solve a problem like Maria?
Not really. I figure if she's dealing with her own shit by now. If she hasn't worked it out, she doesn't need my help.
I would like to point out that I just found out today there's a new season of Slow Horses dropping tomorrow night. So I may have to carve out some television time on Wednesdays for Apple TV again for a little bit.
Right, Slow Horses is a good one. I totally forgot about the Apple TV releases. I need to keep more on top of those ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Help me out. Why should I watch Slow Horses?
Why
Because
can
I haven't watched
you don't
any
watch
of it.
Slow Horses?
I haven't
mean,
watched it yet.
How often would you ever hear me recommend a spy series?
Yeah, not often.
It's a I don't know what attracted me to it in the first place, because I wouldn't usually. This is the kind of thing that my parents love and tell me that I need to watch, and then I don't. But there's something about the premise of it being this group of disgraced spies that have been sent to the shit spy place because they're so shit, and then and some of them are shit and some of them are not so shit, and having the mysteries and the day saving kind of dumped in their laps. They're really, really fallible characters who are kind of quite endearing and easy to root for, which I sort of love. And it's generally fairly kind of like tight and quick moving.
Also, Gary Oldman didn't have to actually shower or do anything, and he intentionally has to look shit because he's shit. And so I feel like it's had this freeing thing of like, I don't need makeup. I don't have to I can just wear shit clothes. I can smoke on set. Like all of these things must have just opened him up to be like, amazing. I'm supposed to be a piece of shit on screen. I'll just be a piece of shit.
And I think for me, like the fact that the characters are so fallible, and even the ones that aren't that shit and have ended up in the shit team for other reasons, do constantly kind of fuck up. So it's not kind of like a amazing super spy who does all of the amazing stuff all the time. It's a bit rockier than that. I like it. It's fun.
They're the traditional British ones, 6 episodes.
It's an easy
they're
watch.
up to 4 seasons now.
And they're releasing them quite quickly.
They released season 1 and 2 within the same year.
Okay,
fair enough.
It's something I am enjoying about Apple TV. Like, unlike all of the other streaming services, which are kind of like, hey, this show didn't make $3 billion, so we're canceling it right now. Looking at you, Dead Boy Detectives.
Yeah, that was really sad news.
Yeah, that's like,
I liked that show.
Sake. Do you want me to ever invest in a show? No, good. Then you're going the right fucking way about it. But I like Apple TV because it's like, hey, we're going to do a really weird, particularly stylish show that, is a very different vibe, and, a potentially small number of people are really going to get it, and we're going to let it run. And, oh, look at that. People get invested, and we fucking grow our audience as we go. Crazy. Insane.
You also get, ghosted.
The movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that their movies have been less consistent than their TV series, and even some of their TV series have been a little bit,
yeah, not necessarily great.
That's fine.
You can't win all the time.
You can't, but you respect
you
them
can't surely be throwing that much money at something, but that's a different argument.
Yeah. And the only other thing I would say that came out this week that I was quite excited about is the new trailer for the new season of The Legend of Vox Machina. Yes.
The future is frightening.
Anyone who's who's followed the game or the podcast or the actual Twitch stream and everything will know that, yeah, this is getting some pretty serious, crazy shit. But, yeah, for everybody else, this is going to be a fucking crazy season. Characters that I'm kind of excited about, the gigantic dragon, Fordak, was voiced by Lance Reddick, and he actually did the last of the recording just before he died. So they've managed to get him through for the final parts of his role. And yes, Tari, I'm sorry that you are so invested. I feel bad about it, and I'm sorry, but not that bad. Pete, I know it's probably not planned because it's animated. So,
I watched the first season with you guys, didn't I? Did I?
Yeah, I believe so.
I have to admit, I've absolutely forgotten everything about this show. I'd have to go back and watch it again.
Well, funnily enough, there is a very handy musical sort of wrap-up of season 1 that is available, where they do a very funny song that tells you everything that happens in the season. And I'm not sure whether or not they'll do that for season 2 because the guy who sang it has had throat cancer. So, you know, maybe not so much.
Is there some sort of Wikipedia article I could read?
Oh, so much Wikipedia.
Right.
The amount of Critical Role Wikipedia stuff is terrifying. So, yes.
Fair enough.
Right. Anything else? Dion, anything you want to add before we get ready to
good.
bugger off?
I'm good, thank you. Appreciate you asking. I have no more to add to this meeting. I'm just going to let you take some time back if we wrap it up now.
Oh, I hate that in meetings where like somebody says, okay, well, I'm going to give you some time back in your day. I'm like, yes, so maybe you should have made that meeting fucking shorter in the first place.
This podcast could have been an email.
I love it. Terminator 0. Yeah.
Podcast could have been an email.
Oh, yeah.
The harshest review ever. Speaking of reviews, we would really love it if you could leave a review for us on Apple Music or any of the. Yes, I was.
Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts. I don't fucking know. It's not iTunes anymore.
Please don't jump on now and just write this podcast could have been an email 1 star to be
So actually, you can do that as long as you rate it 5 stars. Though technically, I think they do actually read the comments that you say. So the more effusive and lovely you can be, the better it goes for us.
Amazing. One day I'll give you a script or something, or write one of them that you can say. Maybe we'll just do a pre-record and then you just roll the audio and you can do this on the screen.
Okay, sorry. Please go to the podcasting platform of your choice and leave us a rating. Thank you. That's very true. And if you want to, you can even go to Spotify, even though they're terrible, terrible people stealing money from everybody.
Yeah,
I have strong opinions about Spotify. But,
speaking of money, thanks for everyone who's come along to the Twitch and been subbing and or have subscribed to us, because that's really good and that helps us pay some bills. Or if you want to chuck us, $2 or $3 or less, you can go to Ko-Fi and they don't take as much a giant cut of anything going on too.
Yeah, and we do love you for that, Casper. You do best.
We put it all in the place where it's supposed to go, which is basically web hosting.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much that's where it goes nowadays. Case you want.
Yeah.
That's right. Join us next week when Quinny and Jill are going to come back and talk about scary movies.
Yes. I'm actually quite excited. Yeah, and thank you everyone for joining us. If you've got anything that you want to tell us about, feel free, send us emails, write us things, send us voicemails, whatever the hell you want. We'd love to hear from you, but also we just love seeing you in the chat. You're the bestest people around.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, okay. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
See ya.
Bye.
look downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. The powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have him teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. And martial arts from iron fists and walls, call Dazzler up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're right up cheeky now. Say Emma Frost and have her read my mind, or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch a symphony with just be her and me. Call Lucky Barn and arm wrestle for hours.